A post-mortem carried out on the entertainer Cilla Black has proved inconclusive, but police in southern Spain, where she died at the weekend, say her death was from natural causes. In a moment, we'll hear from David Sillito in her hometown of Liverpool, where people have been queuing to sign a book of condolence. But first, Robert Hall reports from the Spanish resort of Estepona.
Shuttered windows and flowers at Cilla Black's villa today as more detail began to emerge of the circumstances surrounding her death. It's now believed that she was discovered on her balcony by her son, who was staying nearby. Paramedics arrived at around 6 in the evening, but they were unable to save her. The seaside town of Estepona had been a haven for Cilla Black and her family for almost 30 years, somewhere to escape the pressures of show business and to seek anonymity. Friends recall her energy and her natural warmth, but in more recent times they had noticed a change as she coped with ill health and grew increasingly frail. Robbie Anderson, who owns a restaurant in the town, became a close friend.
She bought me these, and they're from years and years ago.
The star had booked dinner here on the day she died, but that evening the phone rang.
I said, I can't believe it. He said, neither can we. So, but at least she died here, where she loved. It was part of her life. And, yeah, and she had such a wonderful life.
Good afternoon, it's TRE Talk.
In the local English language radio station, listeners began calling in as soon as the news broke. DJ Ron Jones worked at Liverpool's Cavern Club. He says one track sums up her life.
Liverpool Lullaby, Stan Kelly, all the factors of a war-torn Liverpool of deprivation, and yet within it was all the warmth and love of family life in Liverpool, which Cilla always was typifying.
Robert Hall, BBC News, Estepona.
Oh, you are a mucky kid.
She started out as Priscilla White, the typist from Liverpool with dreams of fame, who went on to make it. The memories here begin long before Blind Date. They go back to the early days of the Beatles and the Cavern Club. The flowers honouring a former cloakroom girl who on a break would pop down to beg a favour from the bands such as Jerry and the Pacemakers.
When we went on, we'd take Cilla back on stage and she'd always sing Fever. Never know how much I love you, which was great and the kids loved it. And that's when I first met her and we first became dear friends.
The original club is long gone. This, the old entrance, a memory of a special moment in Liverpool history.
This was the coolest address in pop music, and right at the very heart of it was that cloakroom assistant who was soaking up the recipe. American music with a strong Liverpool twist.
Let there be you. Let there be me.
When she sang, there was no hiding where she came from. Liverpool's Scotland Road. Her dad worked in the docks. She was determined to succeed. A story that was at the heart of today's reminiscences.
I put a tear in my eye because even though I didn't know her personally, you know, she touched our lives and she was one of our own. She made good, she did well, and, you know, she helped put Liverpool on the map.
Cilla Black, 50 years a star, and it all began here. David Sillito, BBC News, Liverpool.
That's all from us. Don't forget that in a moment you can get a first look at tomorrow's papers over on the BBC News channel. But now on BBC One, it's time for the news where you are. Good night. Good evening. Civic flags have been flying at half-mast in Liverpool today in honour of Cilla Black, who died at the weekend. A book of condolence was also opened up at the town hall, and all day people have been paying their respects to the singer who went from cloakroom attendant to one of television's most popular and long-lasting stars. Claire Fallon has been in Liverpool today to see how people there remember her.
Step inside, love. Let me find you a place.
In the backstreet club where a superstar was once a cloakroom girl, they're singing Cilla today.
We'll be together now and forever.
In Liverpool, Cilla Black wasn't just a face on Saturday night TV. That's why so many people have their own stories about her.
Cilla being on the cloakroom, I put my coat in. When I come to actually be departing the cavern, my blue coat wasn't there. All what was there was this tatty sort of like pack-a-mac. She'd actually given it out.
So she wasn't a very good cloakroom girl?
She was rubbish, absolutely, well, rubbish in my estimation. So whenever we met up at the Pride of Britain Award, she always used to come to me and go, "Oh, girl, I still haven't found your coat."
A girl next door with her own spot on Liverpool's Wall of Fame. Many still can't believe she's gone.
But the local girl done good, and she sings now in heaven.
Said I'll miss her a lot. It's not that long since I've seen her in Spain. And she was telling me about her illness, yeah. It's like missing a sister.
Above Liverpool Town Hall this evening, an honour usually reserved for royalty. Inside, people line up to write down their memories and tributes. What does Cilla mean to people here?
She's part of our life, but we still got our music, we've got our memories. But no, it's very, very sad.
She broke records on television. She did things that nobody else could do. She brought the camera to life, and she was amazing. The only good thing to come out of it, she never, ever stopped talking about Bobby all her life. And she's now, if there is a heaven, she's with him, and they're probably having a row.
In the city where many call her the ultimate liver bird, all day, all the talk has been about Cilla.
Cilla Black was a famous singer from Liverpool at the same time as the Beatles.
Do you know any Cilla? Finding a busker who'll sing Cilla, though, proved to be trickier.
You can't do us any Cilla?
Oh, I don't know if I can. Oh, if I had the music.
Anyone sing us some Cilla?
Yeah, get on, sing some.
Anyone who ever dreamed could look at
Maybe best then to leave it to the woman who loved life, loved Liverpool, and loved her Bobby. Remembered this evening in the city that loved her back.
Tributes to Cilla Black.
Very light. We found this tape in our archive from a day she spent here at ITN in 1992 as part of a charity job swap. If you want to see Cilla's debut as a TV reporter, you can see it all on our website, itv.com/news.
It was wonderful, and that is tonight's ITV News at 10.
Coming next, the national weather and the news where you are, but from Julie and from me, good night. Thanks for watching.
Good night.
As the tributes continue to pour in for one of Britain's best-loved entertainers. Tomorrow on Good Morning Britain, we look behind the headlines to discover the real Cilla and the exceptional work she carried out to help others. The secret side of the Liverpool legend. Tomorrow from 6 on Good Morning Britain.
Tributes have been paid to Liverpool singer and TV star Cilla Black after she died at a home in Spain at the weekend. Her friends from show business and fans across the globe shared memories of her today, as Daniel Hewitt reports.
To a generation, she was the Scouse singing sensation of the 1960s. To another, the undisputed star of Saturday night television. For 6 decades, Cilla Black has entertained a nation. Now a nation is paying tribute, led by those that knew her best.
She was a star, an icon. I saw her in Sydney Opera House. You couldn't get further away from Liverpool and the place was on its feet cheering her. She was a great girl. Cilla Black, what you saw is what you got. Terrific.
72 is no age to leave us all. So many people are going to be so upset.
It's for you.
No more so than in Cilla's home city. It was in 1960s Liverpool that her fellow Scousers first glimpsed the star quality of the Cavern Club's cloakroom girl.
Every chance she got, she'd be on stage. Can I come and sing? She'd get on, and she'd be a different girl than she was in the cloakroom. And you knew she wanted to be there, on the stage, in the spotlight. And she never changed at all. She kept that great Scouse personality.
She came from a part of Liverpool, Scotland Road, which you had to have a lot of courage to live there and to have the ambition to rise above it. And she did. She was an inspiration to everybody in show business.
The teenage Cilla was herself inspired by the Beatles, and today both surviving members paid tribute to the woman they helped become a star. Paul McCartney said she had a fun-loving dignity that made her a great pleasure to be around. Ringo Starr tweeted, "She was a good friend. Peace to Cilla and peace to her family." And today, outside the club in Liverpool where they first met, people came to pay their respects.
Oh, she was lovely, a lovely lady, and she'd be sorely missed, you know. She was really nice. A good voice. I remember her from the cavern, the old days, you know.
She was a brilliant entertainer. And of course, she lived up to the Scouse joviality and what have you.
I grew up with her. Blind date. Surprise, surprise. You feel like you know it, even though you don't.
And those who worked with Cilla Black say that was her best quality, the ability to be loved by all ages.
She captured a range of audience, from young people to middle-aged people to old people. There was no one who got away from the fact that Cilla was a star and was loved by the nation. I mean, she was a national treasure and more.
Cilla was unique in that not only did she have all those hits, the ones that we grew up with, but then she went on to become one of the best television presenters and most loved television presenters that we know. So she was always different, and at the same time she was like everybody's friend next door.
But as Britain mourns Cilla the star, others mourn Cilla a dear friend.
So I remember her making me laugh, sparkling all the time. That's how I always remember Cilla.
She was Liverpool's Cinderella, because she was Cinderella. And Cinderella's not with us anymore.
Well, in Spain, the authorities are still trying to establish how Cilla died. Preliminary police inquiries are pointing to natural causes, as Amy Welsh reports from the Costa del Sol.
Shutters are down at Cilla Black's villa here in Spain, and her 3 sons have asked that we respect their privacy at this difficult time. We understand that Spanish police were called here at around 6 o'clock on Saturday evening, and it was later confirmed that Cilla Black had passed away at the age of 72. Now, one line of inquiry that Spanish police are following is that Cilla Black had a fall caused by a dizzy spell when walking from a cool air-conditioned room into the heat of a sunny day. That is only one line of inquiry, but police are keen to say that everything at this stage indicates her death being the result of natural causes.
She was just an ordinary girl. Everybody's loved her because she's come from the bottom and she's come up to the top, had a lovely family. We will miss her.
Well, it was her down-to-earth nature and cheeky smile that people most associated with, and that applied to her everyday life as well as her on-screen appearances. Earlier, I spoke to the owner of a boutique here in Estepona who said every time Cilla Black visited her shop, she was always smiling.
She used to love always our stuff because we made it by hand, and she was quite old-fashioned, and yeah, she used to come in a few times, but we didn't know she was living so close, and definitely not she was so famous. So yeah, sadly but true. I hope she rests in peace.
Back here, flags are flying at half-mast in her hometown, and a book of condolence has been opened. Our reporter Adam McLean explains how Liverpool's remembering the cloakroom girl turned star.
She was to become one of the biggest stars of her time, but it was from humble beginnings in Vauxhall that Cilla Black was to rise to fame. Her journey to stardom began here on Scotty Road. Priscilla White grew up in a flat above a barber shop that was once on this building site. And in the very Catholic community, the young girl that was to become Cilla Black went to school at St Anthony's, the church that still stands over Scotland Road.
It's very much the place that people round here would gravitate to. And many people like Cilla who moved away would still see St Anthony's as their spiritual home.
And the community in which she grew up left a lasting mark. Setting out on a stellar career, she was the singer from Scotty Road.
I'm sure it would have had a big influence on her. The people of this area, people of Scotland Road, are very open, very generous, very honest, and have always been held as somewhat special or different even to the rest of Liverpool. And I'm sure that was part of Cilla's character.
Today at Liverpool Town Hall, a book of condolence has been opened. Hundreds leaving messages in memory. Flowers were laid outside the Cavern Club where she used to sing. Inside, a band performed one of Cilla's favourites. And just as people loved Cilla, Cilla loved people. Those who worked closely with her say she'd make time to meet and chat.
She wanted to go out the stage door. She wanted to go and see all those people that were waiting outside for her.
Her driver says she never let fame get the better of her good nature. Always welcoming and always caring.
We'd go to the stage door and you would be at the stage door and I'd say to her, Cilla, it's really busy out there. There's an awful lot of people tonight. And you could physically see her become Cilla Black. And it's hard to describe, but she would go out and she'd want to speak to everyone. She was so friendly to everyone. Everyone just wanted to put their arm round her or give her a peck on the cheek or tell her their story.
And wherever fame took her, Liverpool was close to her heart. Cilla Black was always the girl from Scotty Road. Adam McLean, ITV News, Liverpool.
To tonight's other news.
Back in the summer of 1984, she played in Great Yarmouth. Impresario Peter J not only booked her, he also performed on the same bill as her in the 1960s and says there will never be another Cilla.
She's unique. There's nobody else got a career like that, which had the singing career, all the #1 hits, incredible voice, all ranges, and then on top of that, fabulous performer, and on top of that, this connection with the public. There's nobody else I can think of that can do all that.
Right, let's head to the weather now. Aidan has all your details tonight.